Hey everybody, welcome back to Texas Breaks. Today we are going to be looking at the 1987 opening day set that came out, obviously in 1987. It's very similar to the 87 Donruss regular set, except it's very limited. The colors around the outer edges are, instead of black, are a brownish color. The unique thing about this set is there were a small number of Barry Bonds error cards printed and distributed, where it had Barry Bonds' information, his name on the front, but it was a picture of Johnny Ray, another of the Pirates players back in 87, who, from my understanding, didn't make it much longer through that season, was traded off. But it's pretty rare. It's pretty valuable, actually, which is because it's so rare. And the sets have the same players in every box. 5 stacks. It's the same players. They're in the same order. If you look, I have 4 of them here, and they're all the same. The Bonds is in the middle pack, last card. So it's pretty easy to look at, to get to, without opening up. Each stack is individually wrapped and sealed. The set itself is sealed. Today, so we're going to look for that Bonds error. I purchased 4 of these a while back from 4 different places, so as not to have them come from the same run. Better chances of getting the error card. I don't really want to open all 4 of them, but I really like to see if we have that error card. So what I'm probably going to do is I'm going to open one, and I'll go through each. I'll open each of the stacks, and we'll go through each card and kind of show what cards were in this set. Look for the Bonds, and then if it's not an error, we'll go to another one and we'll just open the stack that has the Bonds in it. Leave the rest sealed. We'll do that on a second one, and then we'll see where we are. We'll see how I feel. Maybe I want to open another one, maybe I don't. We'll see. Hopefully we'll find it in the first one. We won't have to worry about it. But so I'm going to start with that one. I've had these for a while, and I haven't really wanted to open them. The set is not valuable at all by itself. I think I purchased these for about $10 a piece, maybe $12 a piece. Sorry about that. One of my dogs busted through the door. Anyway, so I purchased these for about $10 a piece. They're very inexpensive. The cards, you can buy the sets really cheap on eBay still. There's quite a few out there. Also, the individual cards do not have a lot of value, which is very surprising because there's some really, really good names in the set. Some really good rookie cards. So as you can see, the front, first, you do get these 4 Roberto Clemente. Actually, there's more than that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 of these Roberto Clemente puzzles. Mini puzzles. Pretty cool. They're all the same. It's the Diamond King puzzle of that year. But pretty neat. But you can see pull this off screen so it'll focus. So, like I said, 5 stacks of these. You have Canseco on the top of one, Wally Joyner on the top of the other, with Craig Reynolds. The checklist is on the back of Canseco. You have the Dale Murphy with the Barry Bonds. And it's not the back, it's the front that we have to see whose picture it is, Johnny Ray or Barry Bonds. Wade Boggs, Phil Garner. And the last stack has Don Mattingly and Glenn Davis. So, like I said, we'll open this first one up and just take a look at the cards that are in the set. And then if we don't find the error card, we'll open at least one more. I like them. I mean, they're basically the 87 set, just a different color and a limited edition. So, anyways, here's Don Mattingly, Jeffrey Leonard, Phil Bradley, Ricky Henderson. Keep them in order. Rob Deere. You can, yeah. Some fading in some of the colors. Kyle Daniels, Pete Incaviglia, Joe Carter, Ken Gerhardt, Carmelo Martinez, Dwayne Murphy, Vince Coleman, Bobby Bonilla, Mark Davidson, Mike Easler, Bob Patterson, Alonzo Powell, Larry Herndon, Ken Landrew, Yvonne Calderon, Bo Jackson, Kevin McReynolds, Ron Karkovice, Ryan Sandberg, Gary Pettis, Dave Henderson, Ken Oberkfell, Freddie Lynn, Willie Upshaw, Pete O'Brien, Sid Bream, Kent Herbeck, Jack Clark, Willie Randolph, Steve Garvey, Rob Nelson, Will Clark, Alvin Davis, Bill Buckner, Franklin Stubbs, Greg Walker, Andres Galarraga, Darrell Evans, Keith Hernandez, Greg Brock, Vaughn Hayes, Eddie Murray, Ron Roniski, I butchered that, Mark McLemore, Leon Durham, Pat Tabler, Terry Francona, Kevin Seitzer, and the Glenn Davis. So that's one stack. So, just one stack in, several Hall of Famers, some really, really good players. It's a really good stack. I'm really surprised at the value. I mean, I know it was during the junk wax era, and the cards were starting to lose their luster because there's so many made, and there were a lot of these made. But you have, you're starting to see the resurgence of the junk wax era cards, the 87 set itself with rookies like Bonds. And Mark McGuire and guys like that. You would think that the value of these would go up a little bit as well, but they really haven't. Wade Boggs, Kenny Maldonado, Mike Kingery, Joel Skinner, Glenn Braggs, Dave Parker, Ruben Sierra, Corey Snyder, Jack Morris, Tony Gwynn, Mickey Templeton, Jim Lederman, Andy Van Slyke, Tom Brunansky, Glenn Wilson, Tony Fernandez, Tom Browning, Mitch Webster, Mike Heath, Mike Marshall, Harold Baines, Kevin Bass, Danny Tartable, Darryl Strawberry, Danny Jackson, Andre Dawson, Butch Weingartner, Mark Sullivan, Ken Griffey Sr., Terry Kennedy, Jesse Barfield, Steve Butchell, Jim Morrison, Gary Gaetti, Terry Pendleton, Wayne Tollison, Kevin Mitchell, Carney Lansford, Chris Brown, Jim Presley, Spike Owen, Bill Madlock, Tim Hewlett, Tim Wallach, Darnell Coles, Howard Johnson, Paul Molitor, Mike Schmidt, Ray Knight, Deion James, Dick Schofield, Brian Dayett, Brooke Jacoby, Buddy Bell, George Brett, and Phil Gardner. Trying to go through these stacks pretty quick because there's a lot of cards, but I just kind of wanted you guys to see who's all in the set because it is a complete set. We're going to skip that one. We'll do that one last. This is the Jose Canseco stack. Plastic just kind of flakes off of there. Goodness. Stick it in my hand and everything else. All right, come on. Here we go. All right, quickly. Canseco, Billy Joe Robideau, Don Gladden, Gary Ward, Steve Balboni, Ken Phelps, Charlie Huff, Reggie Jackson, Fred McGriff, Terry Harper, Andre Thornton, Carlton Fisk, Mike Krukow, Oral Hershiser, Eric Schell, Don Baylor, John Tudor, Alan Wiggins, Shane Raleigh, Jimmy Key, Bob Ojeda, Larry Parrish, Floyd Humans, Mark Langston, and there are team cards in here, so I won't read them all, but all the teams in the league at that point with the checklist on the back for each team. That one went quickly. 2 more stacks to go. There we go. All right, this one starts off with Wally Joyner, Bob Brinley, Dave Valier, Dennis Rasmussen, Billy Schroeder, Bo Diaz, Don Slott, Chris Bando, Teddy Guerra, Benito Santiago, Kurt Young, Tony Pena, Junior Ortiz, Tom Nieto, Lance Parrish, George Bell, Mike Scott, Jeff Reed, Orlando Mercado, Mike Scioscia, Rich Dotson, Alan Ashby, Ed Hearn, Gary Carter, Burt Blyleven, Jody Davis, Mike Witt, Bob Stanley, Rick Mailer, Mike Boddicker, Ernie Witt, Scott Fletcher, Rafael Belliard, Greg Gagne, Ozzie Smith, Dan Pasqua, Gary Templeton, Alfredo Griffin, Jose Uribe, Ray Quinones, Jim Rice, Mariano Duncan, Ozzie Guion, Hubie Brooks, Alan Trammell, Rafael Santana, Dale Svaim, Steve Jeltz, Cal Ripken, Ozzie Virgil, Devon White, Bob Dernier, Julio Franco, Barry Larkin, Bob Biancalana, and Craig Reynolds. And the last stack, and the one that we are all waiting for, that came off really easily. All right. So Dale Murphy starts it off. Chili Davis, Donnell Nixon, Dave Winfield, Robin Yount, Eric Davis, Oda B. McDowell, Brett Butler, Brian Downing, Marvell Wynn, Mike Davis, Tito Landrum. Here's Kirby Puckett, Milt Thompson, Rance Mullenix, Rick Sutcliffe, Reed Nichols, Chet Lemon, Mike Ramsey, Gary Redis, Billy Hatcher, Willie Wilson, Mookie Wilson, Tom Candiotti, Sean Dunston, George Hendrick, Dwight Evans, Andres Thomas, John Shelby, Lloyd Mosby, Jerry Brown, Johnny Ray. So that is the Johnny Ray. He is in this set. the heir of the Bonds has his picture, not this picture, but a picture of him with Barry Bonds underneath it. It's a different picture. It's actually a face, up close face pic of him. But this is who's on the Bonds heir card. The corrected one has Bonds himself. Steve Lombardozzi, Tommy Herr, Mike Pagliarulo, Joey Cora, Tony Phillips, Rob Thompson, Harold Reynolds, Marty Barrett, Steve Sachs, Donnie Hill, Vance Law, Lou Whitaker, Tim Tuffle, Jim Ganter, Juan Samuel, Rick Burleson, Glenn Hubbard, Doug DeCensis, Keith Moreland, Tony Bernazard, Ron Oster, Frank White, Bill Doran, and the last one is Barry Bonds. See if we can zoom it in a little bit. And it is Barry Bonds. So this is not the heir. As you can see, that is Barry himself. So, of course, it is not the heir card. I am not going to go down without at least a fight. So let me put these stacks back. It's a really cool set. I really like it. Like I said, it's got really good names in it. Really surprised it doesn't have much more value. But if you don't find that Bonds card, it really has very little value. But let's open another one. Let's see if we can find this thing. And we will just open that one stack. All right, so Dale Murphy, again, Barry Bonds, and let's see whose picture is actually on this one. I've never seen anybody pull it. You can see it on eBay. People have it up for sale, well, in the sold. I haven't looked in the for sale, but I know people have it in the sold for a few $100s. PSA 9s. And let's go to Billy Doran. And here we go, Barry Bonds, and it's Barry Bonds again. You know what? Let's open one more. Now, I have 4, so this is number 3. I don't know if I want to open the last one yet. We may just open this one. If it's not there, it's not there. Or I may have no willpower at all and go to the last one. We'll see. Let's hope it's in here and we don't have to worry about it. All right, as you can see, Barry Bonds. Come on, come on.
Speculation there was that she had been struck in the face and bleeding from the nose. We believe she bled in that bathroom. I believe he manually strangled her and
And this one does not want to open. There we go. Maybe that's a good sign. All right. Got Frank White, Billy Doran, and drum roll, please. Yep. Barry Bonds. You can tell because when you get to
Then took her to his mother's house,
the jersey,
put behind the house and dug a hole, then filled the hole back in.
so I think
In June of 2008, 29-year-old
instead of opening it,
guilty to second-degree murder. He's sentenced to 13 years in prison.
I'm going to hold this one off. And I might end up giving this one away. I would love to. I'd love to open it and see, but I just want to keep this one sealed and maybe do something with it later on. But I appreciate you guys watching. Didn't find the error card, unfortunately, but got to see some really cool cards. I like the set, like I've said many times. I think it's a really nice set, and wish it would get a little more positive hype than it has. But if you like the video, please hit the like button. Subscribe if you're not subscribed yet. Turn on the notifications so you can see when new content comes out. Leave a comment. Let me know what you think. What you think of this set. What you think of the channel. What you want to see in the future. Give me some ideas. But I appreciate you guys joining in, watching the video. Take care. Have a great night.